Okay, I'm going to try and get my head around the sport of Kabaddi. Let's go.
Nin explains the rules of Kabaddi. Kabaddi is an Indian sport played with 2 teams of 12 players, with 7 players taken to the court at any one time. The game is played on a rectangular court that's generally a maximum of 13 metres by 10 metres. This is a midline that divides the court into 2, and these are the balk lines, the end lines, the bonus lines, and this is the lobby area. I'll explain what these are shortly. The object of the game is for your team to score more points than the opposing team. To score, a team must send a player, known as a raider, into the opposing half of the court whilst chanting the word Kabaddi repeatedly.
First of all, it looks like a condensed version of tag or it or whatever you want to call it in your area, where you got to tag someone. You have to shout Kabaddi constantly. Okay.
A raider must only use one breath and chant the word Kabaddi repeatedly to show the referee that he is exhaling and not holding his breath. The first goal of the raider is to reach the balk line. Failure to do this results in the raider being out and cannot participate in the next part of the game. The second goal of the raider is to touch as many players as he can and make it back to the midline before he is caught and tackled by the defenders.
Makes sense. I don't get the line bit. So basically, you send one person over to the other half. They've got to tag as many players as they can before getting back to the halfway line before getting caught or stopped. Actually, that sounds pretty good. That actually sounds quite fun.
He can do this in several ways. With a hand touch, a toe touch, a kick, or by trying to escape a tackle and reaching for the midline. He gets 1 point for every opposing defender that he touches, so long as he makes it back to the midline, or whilst repeatedly chanting the word Kabaddi. And any touched defenders are out and cannot participate in the next round of play.
So it's like a mix of tag and almost a bit like dodgeball, where if the in dodgeball when the ball hits someone, that person's out. So it's sort of a mix between tag or it and dodgeball.
Understand so far? Cool.
Sort
Let's continue. The defenders, sometimes known as antis, will try and stop the raider returning to the midline, especially if one of them has been touched. They can use several tactics such as the ankle hold, back hold, front tackle, and forcing them off the court entirely. If the defenders manage to stop the raider returning to his own half of the court, the raider is out and the defending team gets 1 point. Once a raid is finished, the opposing team must send out a raider of their own within 5 seconds, or the team will lose a point. Got it?
This looks so much fun. This looks like so much fun, where sort of you can basically play this on a badminton court, I would assume. All sports halls sort of in the UK have badminton courts. So it's sort of I'm amazed that this isn't, maybe it is played over here. But this certainly seems something that could be easily played in the UK in our leisure centres.
Good, because it's about to get a lot more complicated.
Really? Surely not.
When a player is out, he must wait in the sitting block and is temporarily unable to participate in the game. Once a raider has been tackled, or a point has been scored, they are allowed to revive one of their own players out of the sitting block to rejoin the team. This means that every time you score, you can revive one or more of your players back onto the field of play.
So it really is a mix of tag and dodgeball, because obviously in dodgeball, if a player catches the ball, then they get to bring a player back. It's like the Asian version of dodgeball. This looks bloody fun to play.
The game is played in 2 20-minute halves for a combined playing time of 40 minutes. Highest score at the end of time wins. Kabaddi is the ultimate game of cat and mouse, as the defenders have to be far enough away so that they can't be touched, but also close enough to
catch them if they do
decide to make a run for it. This is a highly strategic sport, and there's a few more rules that you'll need to understand before playing or watching a game. For example, the lobby. The lobby is an extended area of play, which is denoted by the yellow areas here. These are only active when a defender has been touched, and gives both the raider and defender more room to try and score or get the raider out. Bonus line. As mentioned before, this is the bonus line. If a raider puts 1 foot in the bonus line with 1 foot in the air, he will score 1 point so long as he makes it back to the midline. However, the bonus line is quite far from the midline, and reaching for this line makes it easier for the defender to tackle you. The bonus line is only active when there are 6 or 7 defenders on the court. Super tackle. If there are 3 or less defenders on the defending team and they manage to tackle a raider, this is known as a super tackle and scores 2 points. 1 point for eliminating the raider and a bonus point for doing so with 3 or less defenders. Do or die raid. If a team has 2 unsuccessful raids, i.e. they score 0 both times, the third raid is the do or die raid. Failing to score on the third raid in a row results in the raider being out. Pursuit. A pursuit...
These rules are getting a little bit more complicated. They're probably so simple if you play it and you just know it off by heart.
Is where a defender charges at a retreating raider with the aim of scoring a quick point off him. This is usually done if the other team is slow to retreat from a raid and the defender is close enough to score a point and make it back to the midline quickly before the other players realise. All out.
Sorry, are they the Black Mambas? They're definitely the Black Mambas, aren't they?
If in the rare instance a raider gets all the defenders out in one raid, this is known as an all out. The raiding team gets 1 point per player and an additional 2 points. All players are revived after an all out. To the uninitiated, Kabaddi seems strange, confusing, even ridiculous, but once you understand the rules, it becomes an interesting sport to watch. If you found this video at all helpful,
I actually, and this, I don't want to be derogative to the sport because actually it looks so much fun to play, and actually fairly fun to watch. But it seems like something you would come up at school. It seems like one of those games you think of at school when you're during lunchtime or break time or whatnot, and you just try and make up different rules. But this looks incredible, Kabaddi. I can't work out how you do the saying the Kabaddi over and over again. But as I said, it looks like a mix between dodgeball and tag. That's what it looks like. Bloody good fun to play, I bet. Thanks for watching, guys. If you've got any YouTube clips or any videos that you want me to watch, especially now on Kabaddi, any highlights or anything that you think is spectacular, let me know in the comments below, and I'll catch you next time.